Welcome to the Red Story. Subscribe. It's not difficult, but it's very important. Thank you. Title: The Summer That Changed Everything. It was a bright Saturday morning when Jake and Emily, freshly married, packed their bags for a week-long getaway at the beach with friends. The sun was shining and excitement bubbled in the air. As they loaded the car, Emily turned to Jake, her eyes sparkling. "Can you believe we're finally doing this? Just us and our friends, relaxing on the beach," she exclaimed, her smile infectious. "I know. It feels like we've been waiting forever," Jake replied, grinning as he adjusted the beach umbrella on the roof rack. "I can't wait to try those fancy cocktails at that beach bar." "Just don't overdo it this time," Emily teased, playfully nudging him. "Remember last time you tried to impress me with your dance moves after a few too many drinks?" Jake laughed, recalling the embarrassing incident. Okay. I promise to keep it classy this time," he said, raising his hands in mock surrender. Once they arrived at the beach, the atmosphere was electric. The sound of waves crashing against the shore, laughter from children playing in the sand, and the scent of sunscreen filled the air. Emily felt free, embraced by the warmth of the sun and the joy of being with her friends. "Let's hit the beach," Emily shouted, pulling Jake toward the water. As they splashed around, they felt like newlyweds all over again, carefree and full of love. That evening, they all gathered at the beach bar, a vibrant spot with tiki torches and reggae music playing in the background. "Cheers to our first vacation as a married couple," Jake toasted, raising his drink high. "Cheers," everyone echoed, their glasses clinking together. As the night wore on, the drinks flowed and laughter filled the air. Emily's friend Sarah, who had been a bit quieter than usual, finally opened up. "You know, I was worried about Emily before the wedding. I thought she might not be ready," Sarah said, her words slightly slurred. "What do you mean?" Jake asked, his curiosity piqued. Emily shot Sarah a warning look, but it was too late. "Well, remember that guy she was with before you? The one from college?" Sarah continued, oblivious to the tension building. Jake felt his heart race. "Yeah, I remember. Why?" Sarah took another sip of her drink, clearly more relaxed. "I just thought, well, she might have had a fling with him before you guys got serious. Like right before the wedding." "Sarah, shush," Emily hissed, her cheeks flushing with embarrassment. But the alcohol had taken over, and Sarah leaned closer to Jake. "I mean, it was just a month before the wedding. She said she needed to see if she was really ready to settle down." Jake's expression shifted from curiosity to confusion, then to anger. "Is this true, Emily?" he demanded, his voice low but firm. Emily's face paled. I didn't think it was a big deal. It was just a mistake. I thought I had moved on." Jake's heart sank as the reality of her words hit him. "A mistake? So you were with him right before our wedding. Why didn't you tell me?" "I was scared, Jake. I thought it was behind me," Emily cried, her voice trembling. The laughter and music faded into the background as Jake processed her confession. "You let me marry you while you still had feelings for someone else." "I love you, Jake. I thought I could make it work," Emily pleaded, tears filling her eyes. Jake shook his head, feeling a mix of betrayal and heartbreak. "This isn't just about you anymore, Emily. We're married, and you've broken that trust." The mood shifted dramatically, and their friends, sensing the tension, began to disperse. "I think I need some air," Jake muttered, walking away from the bar, leaving Emily behind. He could feel the weight of the moment pressing down on him as he stared out at the ocean, waves crashing against the shore, mirroring the turmoil in his heart. After the trip, things felt different. They returned home to a silence that echoed in their once happy household. Jake spent sleepless nights wrestling with his emotions, while Emily tried to reach out, but the damage felt too deep. One evening, as they sat in the living room, Emily finally spoke up. "Jake, I want to talk about what happened. I know I messed up. I didn't mean to hurt you." "Then why did you?" Jake replied, his voice heavy with pain. "Did you think I wouldn't find out? Did you think it didn't matter?" "I thought I could keep it in the past, but I was wrong," she admitted, her voice breaking. "I was drunk, and it slipped out. but it was just one night. I love you, Jake. Love isn't enough if you can't be honest, he said, his heart aching. We need to take a break. I can't keep pretending everything is okay when it's not. Emily's eyes widened. A break? You think that's the solution? I need space to think, to figure out if I can trust you again, he replied, turning away. With a heavy heart, they agreed to take a pause in their relationship. Jake moved to the guest room, while Emily sat in silence, the weight of their crumbling marriage pressing down on them both. Weeks turned into a blur of uncertainty. Jake focused on work, trying to escape the emotional turmoil at home. Meanwhile, Emily reflected on her choices and what led her to betray Jake's trust. Finally, they decided to meet at their favorite cafe, a place filled with memories of happier times. As they sat across from each other, Emily spoke first. I miss you, Jake, she said softly. I've been thinking a lot. I know I hurt you, and I don't expect forgiveness right away. Jake sighed deeply. I miss you too, but it's hard to forget what happened. I don't know if I can trust you again. Emily wiped away a tear. I understand. I never wanted to hurt you. I loved you, but I let my insecurities take over. The conversation hung in the air, both of them grappling with their feelings. Maybe we need to consider that this might be it for us, Emily suggested, her voice barely above a whisper. Jake felt a knot tighten in his stomach at the thought of losing her. I don't want to give up, but I can't ignore what happened. They parted that night with heavy hearts, unsure of what the future held. The possibility of divorce loomed over them, casting a shadow on their once bright love story. Reader comments, this is so real. Taking a break is never easy, but sometimes it's necessary for growth. I really hope they can find a way back to each other. Love is worth fighting for. This hits hard. Trust is fragile, and it takes time to rebuild after a betrayal. I appreciate the realism in this story. Relationships are complicated, and not every story has a happy ending. Please consider subscribing for more stories like this. And remember, as Truman said, good morning, and in case I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.